Welcome back to another Now recording, and today we actually have, it's been a little while, but we actually have another pickups video. So I wanted to go over a bunch of stuff that I got this past weekend. My wife's grandfather passed away about a year and a half ago, and it's taken a little bit of time, but the whole family went down this past weekend to the estate, which was is in New York State, just outside of New York City, and basically, people were able to take certain things that were, sentimental or things that they wanted and so on. And there was a stack of records, and I was able to take some of those. They were all in really good shape. I cleaned them up. And there's some pretty cool stuff here. Some of it spans, I'm sure, some of it was probably, the grandparents, and then some of it was probably the kids that are now obviously full-grown men and women that were left behind. I wanted to just quickly kind of go through that. And so we're looking at one of them. I'm not going to spend too much time. There's too many for me to really go in depth on. But the Ray Charles story, I don't have any Ray Charles albums at all, and I thought that this would be a cool pickup, something to throw on. It's someone I certainly feel like I should know more about. Some of them are in pretty tough shape. You can see there's a lot of them are split, but the records themselves are actually in really, really good shape, which is cool. So that is the Ray Charles story, Volume 3, so it's like a greatest hits. Then we have Peter, Paul, and Mary, In the Wind. I don't know. I don't know how often I'm really going to listen to this, but, they were pretty important in terms of the folk movement, so why not? I mean, it was sitting there. It was free, so why not take it? This one is, I looked it up, pretty famous. It has Blowing in the Wind. I think this is a Bob Dylan song, and I think this was its first appearance on an album even before Dylan put it out himself. So that, the first James Taylor record, self-titled, which is pretty neat. This is when he was on Apple Records, so the Beatles record label. I don't even really know what's on this. I don't really. Oh, Caroline in My Mind is on this. Okay, yeah. So there's a couple of famous songs. Again, this is split, so you can see. And a lot of the sleeves, the interior sleeves were missing, but, I can buy some of those. This one I just grabbed. It's good to have, I like to have different kinds of music, and also Christmas music is really good to have on vinyl. I have a few Christmas albums just around that time of year, obviously, to just kind of throw them on. This is Leonard Bernstein, conducting the New York Philharmonic, The Joy of Christmas. So that's what that is. I thought I'd just kind of hang on to that one. I don't know. It was either take it or throw it out, and I kind of felt bad throwing it out, so I took the Monkees. I don't really know too much about the Monkees other than obviously the TV show and stuff. But in terms of their like albums and their output, I know like Daydream Believer and songs like that, and it doesn't look like any of those are on here. I'm not really sure. I probably honestly will never put this on, but I don't know. They're famous. It's kind of an interesting thing, so I keep that. This one is really cool. This is the soundtrack to Rock and Roll High School, the movie. I never saw that movie. It's a Roger Corman film, and he's kind of, he's made his career kind of making schlock and low-budget sci-fi and stuff like that. I guess this has a cult following, but the soundtrack, actually, they're in the movie too, is the Ramones. You can see a picture of them there. So side one, Ramones. Then Nick Lowe, Brian Eno, song by him. PJ Soul's Rock and Roll High School, which is actually a Ramones song that someone else is singing. Devo, Eddie and the Hot Rods. So Alice Cooper. So pretty cool album, and I thought that this was just kind of an interesting record as well. The Rock and Roll High School soundtrack. I'm looking forward to listening to that one. This is Procol Harum live in concert with the London Symphony or Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Geez, I can't read. Procol Harum, I have another one of their albums. I've never listened to it. My dad liked them. They're kind of like a prog rock group from the 70s. Early 70s, late 60s. So this was just sitting there, and I thought, well, if my dad liked it at some point, even though I've never actually listened to it, it's probably worthwhile. So, again, sitting there, grabbed it. I don't know any of their songs, really. I don't know. This one, pretty famous. I actually did not have this. You'd figure that, inheriting the records from my parents, they would have had it. They had the self-titled, but not this album. This sold how many millions and millions of copies. Go Your Own Way, Don't Stop, The Chain. This is one of the highest selling albums of all time. Again, in really tough shape. The jacket, the album itself is actually fine. But Rumors by Fleetwood Mac, I guess, every record collection needs a copy of that, so why not? I don't really know much about this. This came out in 1982. I think it's just a greatest hits kind of cash in. The Elvis medley. I don't know. It was Elvis. So I grabbed it. Why not? I don't have any Elvis vinyl. This probably isn't the best place to start. But it was sitting there. It was free. So why not? Kind of cool. This was interesting that this was there. This is Alice Cooper's album Killer. I have another Alice Cooper record that we'll get to when we get to see in the collection videos, Billion Dollar Babies, which is awesome. I love that album. So I'm actually really looking forward to this and listening to this and seeing if there's any songs that I recognize on this one. Not really, but I'll check it out. I really like the early Alice Cooper stuff, so I'm looking forward to that, and that's just kind of an odd thing to be at that estate. So these guys just look like they made good music. I've never heard of them, and I actually looked them up, and it sounds like, from what I read, that it's like easy listening kind of stuff, like Seals and Croft, or I don't know. So whatever, but I've never heard of them. I guess they had one hit. They had 2 albums. And this, but I just looked at those guys and I was like, that could be like something worthwhile. I guess it probably isn't, but whatever. It's worth a shot, right? This one, again, this must have been one of the kids that had this. Kiss Rock and Roll Over, which actually has, where are the album? This is an early one by them. Calling Dr. Love. Pretty cool that this is there. Kiss is, I don't like Kiss's music. I'll be completely frank. I think they're just cheesy and, they're just kind of a joke. But they're funny. I like to laugh at Kiss. And I also, I like coming across stuff like this. Like an early Kiss record is fun. So, even though I probably won't really listen to this because I don't particularly like the music of Kiss, it's fun to have. It's kind of a conversation piece, I guess. So Rock and Roll Over by Kiss. This came out in, well, it's upside down, but 1976. So I think this was like their 3rd or 4th album, something like that. All right, a lot of Johnny Cash. This is the first one. I don't have any Johnny Cash records, so now I have 5 of them, so I'm going to go through those pretty quickly. Carrying On with Johnny Cash and June Carter. It Ain't Me, Babe is on there, which is pretty cool. And again, I really don't know much about him, much about his music. I haven't really heard much of it. This is Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. This one's actually in really good shape. If it will focus. On this one. Jeez. I probably sound like an idiot, but I don't know. I really don't know these particular songs. Ring of Fire, the best of Johnny Cash. So we got Ring of Fire. I mean, that's really the only song I know. But I'll learn more because he's cool, and I like that stuff, early kind of country. So I'll definitely be giving these a spin. There's another one here at San Quentin. I assume that's like another one of his prison albums, and they actually had, yeah, it is. You can see. They actually had Folsom Prison, which is his most famous album. And what I did was I brought a lot of the records home that were worthwhile, and I went through them with my brother-in-law, and we kind of each picked what we wanted. So he picked out Folsom Prison, which is totally fine. A Boy Named Sue, I Walked the Line, Folsom Prison Blues. So there's another one, and then we get one more of those. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And I don't really know any of those songs either, but I'll learn. These are really cool to have, so I'm glad to have those. And then the final piece that came out of that estate sale, just going to the estate, is this single of Bruce Springsteen, My Hometown, which is really cool to find something like this. You see the sleeves a little bit beat up, but you don't really come across stuff like this too much. I was actually really excited about this just because it's so unique. The B-side, Santa Claus Is Coming to Town. It even has the little insert there. So that is really cool. I was really happy to get that. And then the final, this is something different that was not picked up at that at my wife's grandfather's estate. My brother-in-law, the aforementioned brother-in-law, who I split the records up with, I went over to his house recently, and he just gave me a copy of this. I guess that he bought this and then also received a copy as a gift. So he just gave me one of them. I think this is the Lumineers' second album. To be completely honest, I'm not the biggest fan of theirs. It's good, but a lot of those groups, like Lumineers, Mumford & Sons, Edward Sharpe. I'm trying to think of who else you can kind of put in there. Even the Avett Brothers, the Hey Ho kind of bands. I feel like they come so close to hitting on something that could be really great, and they don't quite get there to me. Like there's so many, they're like good pieces of their songs, but it doesn't get put together. I don't know. That's the way I feel. But my wife actually really likes these guys, so she'll enjoy that. So that's super nice of my brother-in-law to give this to us. So thank you very much. So that is it. So I'll just leave this here. I'll come back shortly with another collection video. I think we're still on the bees, so we'll do that, and then we'll go from there. Thanks.